Good morning, students. In the last class, we were discussing about the early phase of the nationalist movement. There we studied about who were the important early nationalist leaders, what were their objectives, what were the methods followed by them for attaining the objectives, and what were the demands raised by them before the British government. Today, in this class, we are going to study about three important early nationalist leaders and their contributions. There are many early nationalist leaders, but in our syllabus, only three names are given, and we are going to study about them and their contributions. The early nationalist leaders whose names are mentioned in the syllabus are Dadabhai Naoroji, Gopal Krishna GOKHALE, and Surendranath Banerjee. Now let us study about the first early nationalist leader, Dadabhai Naoroji. In the smaller classes, you have studied about Dadabhai Naoroji as a freedom fighter and a social reformer. When we are studying about a personality, you have to remember two things. The first one, a brief sketch about the life of the person, and the second one, as per the syllabus, the contributions of that leader. Now let us see the life sketch of Dadabhai Naoroji. Dadabhai Naoroji is known as the Grand Old Man of India. He was born in Mumbai in the year 1825. The two important Indian states which produced the maximum number of freedom fighters were Maharashtra and Bengal. Dadabhai Naoroji belonged to Maharashtra. After completing his education, he started his career as a professor of mathematics in Elphinstone College in Mumbai. When we studied about the first part of this chapter, we studied that most of the early nationalist leaders belonged to the upper class and middle class. They were highly educated. Most of them were professional. Many of them were professors. Many of them were advocates, and many others were teachers and engineers. Then let us see about the contributions of Dadabhai Naoroji in the Indian freedom struggle. The first point, he acted as the unofficial ambassador of India. In the exercise, there is a question, how can we call him as the unofficial ambassador of India? We studied that one of the major methods used by the early nationalists was to present the problems of India before the British government and the British public. With this intention, Dadabhai Naoroji visited England several times. He stayed in England for many years and trying to present the problems of India before the British Parliament. That is why he is known as the unofficial ambassador of India. The second point, he was a journalist. He edited a newspaper known as Rast Goftar, that means seeker of truth. The third one, he started a magazine named Dharma Margadarshak. Then in the year 1865, he founded London India Society with the intention to collect public opinion and present it before the British government. The next point, he was the first Indian who became a member of the British Parliament. Like the Indian Parliament, the British Parliament also has two houses, an upper house and a lower house. The two houses of the British Parliament are the House of Commons and House of Lords. The first Indian who became the House of Commons of the British Parliament was Dadabhai Naoroji. Being a member of the British Parliament, he tried to present the problems of India before the British government. He was an active member of Indian National Congress. He became the president of Indian National Congress thrice. Then, last point you have to remember, he was a prolific writer and wrote the book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. In this book, he explained the drain theory. He explained how India's wealth is drained by the British through various means. The second early nationalist leader is Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Gopal Krishna Gokhale, like Dadabhai Naoroji, he was also born in Maharashtra. He was known as the political mentor, the guru of Mahatma Gandhi. The principles of Gopal Krishna Gokhale greatly influenced Mahatma Gandhi. He was born in Maharashtra in the year 1866. Like Dadabhai Naoroji, after completing his education, he started his career as a professor of history and economics in Fergusson College in Pune. The next topic, Gopal Krishna Gokhale's contributions. The first contribution, he founded the Servants of India Society in the year 1905. The main intention of this society, this organization, is to train the nationalist leaders. The second contribution you have to remember, he presided over the Varanasi session of Congress. He was also an active member of Indian National Congress and he became the President of Congress once. He became a member of Indian Public Service Commission. Then he was instrumental in passing the Minto-Morley reforms in the year 1905. The last point you have to remember, in the year 1902, he became a member of Imperial Legislative Council. Being a member of the Imperial Legislative Council, he tried to influence the British government for passing laws in favor of India. The last and third early nationalist leader included in the syllabus is Surendranath Banerjee. Surendranath Banerjee belonged to Bengal. He is known as the father of Indian nationalism. He was born in Bengal in the year 1848. He was the first Indian who qualified the ICE, Indian Civil Service Examination. Surendranath Banerjee started his career as a professor of English in the Metropolitan College. Now, the last part of this chapter, the contributions of Surendranath Banerjee. He is known as the father of Indian nationalism. The first and most important contribution of Surendranath Banerjee, he is known as father of Indian nationalism. Then, in the year 1876, he founded the Indian Association, one of the forerunners of Indian National Congress. He was a journalist. He edited a newspaper named Bengali. Then, being an active member of the Indian National Congress, he presided over the sessions of Congress twice. In the year 1883, he founded Indian National Conference. This Indian National Conference later merged with the Indian National Congress. He was a prolific writer who edited so many books and wrote an important book named A Nation in the Making. Then his career. He started agitation against many of the repressive policies of the British, like the Arms Act, License Act, Vernacular Press Act, etc. For the first semester examination, we have to cover 4 chapters from history and 1 chapter from civics. After the next chapter, the 4th chapter, we will discuss the short questions of all the chapters. Thereafter we will move towards the civics portion. The first chapter of civics will be completed before the first semester examination. Thank you.